Let's go ahead and apply some CSS to our application. While the gradebook app looks pretty good as it is, right, we can do a little bit more to style it. And while this is more of a front-end developer idea, it's still good to get some of the ideas, some of the concepts here so we can make our application look pretty on our own without having to, rely on somebody else. So in this exercise, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding CSS so that we're able to see the author of who created our assignments. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at some of the styling we can add. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean up a little bit. We'll go ahead and clear out some of these different tabs here. We'll collapse some of our packages, again, just to kind of be a little bit more neat here. And so we're going to be over in the gradebook web, and we're going to be heading down to our snippets. So scrolling down here in our snippets, we're here on step number 7. So down here in step 7, we'll expand it out, heading to the gradebook web, and then just kind of following it down, right, till we have the CSS file, the main SCSS. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the main SCSS, and we're going to be copying it in the same place over in our gradebook web. We may have to create that CSS folder, but let's go ahead and take a look. So let's scroll back up. We're in our gradebook web project, and we're in the source main resources, meta-inf resources, and it looks like we are going to, we're going to have to do the same thing. So here in the resources folder, we're going to be creating a new folder called CSS. So let's right click the resources folder, head over to new, followed by folder, and we're going to call this folder CSS. Technically speaking, you can put this folder kind of wherever you want, but this is more of a Liferay convention here. Once you have that folder created, we're going to go ahead and paste the main SCSS here within the meta-inf resources CSS. Right, so we have our CSS here, right, adding our new column and then a little bit of styling along the way as well. Now that we have that taken care of, go ahead and make sure everything is saved. And this is actually not going to be picked up right away. What we need to do is let our portlet component know about this SCSS file. So to do that, we're going to head over to our source main Java, heading over to the package that ends in web portlet, and then we find our portlet component class, gradebook portlet. All right, so from here, we need to add a few properties. Right, the first property we're going to be adding, right, is with our CSS wrapper. So the property is com Liferay portlet CSS dash class dash wrapper. Right, and then the value of that is going to be, right, gradebook dash portlet. We'll need to add a comma after that. We'll add one more here. We need to put this in quotes. Right, this is going to be the most important one here. Com Liferay portlet, right, and then header dash portlet dash CSS, and that value is going to be slash CSS slash main dot SCSS, or we can just leave it at .css. We'll see how that fares with our example, since we do have a Sass compiler behind the scenes. Just making sure everything else is good. Our portlet name is still gradebook portlet. Once it's been deployed, you'll see the hot deploy occur down here at the bottom. Let's head back over to our instance of Liferay. I'll refresh the page to get me signed back in. Right, and then signing back in. And let me head over to our main site page so we can take a look at the view.jsp. All right, now that we're here, I'm going to switch the perspective. We're going to switch it to our table. And let's see if that changes things up a little bit. So here in the table, we see our author. And then we also see the styling here a little bit different. So very good. All right, one more exercise to go. We're going to be taking a look next at adding JavaScript to our application.